episode of the Creatress of Freedom podcast. I am Annie and I am your host, and I'm so happy to be dropping on in with you today. I am coming in to share with you how the final 30 days has been on being off social media. So, can I just say that it has been so good? And literally today was my very first day back live on social media. I jumped on my stories and yeah, I'm really curious to see how I feel over the coming days, the coming months around social media. So I want to share with you the breakthroughs, the revolutions, the things I've got up to, where I'm at now with social media as well, because I think that this could potentially, if you're listening to this episode, there no doubt is a part of you that has felt a pull to perhaps get off social media. And I know that this has also been something that has, since I've jumped off social media, been something that has come up within my communities as well, where some of the women are like, I think I want to get off social media. And there's this like tug of like this pull between I want to, but I don't know if I can, like right? And that I feel like if I share my story with you, maybe it will inspire you to do what's right for you. And maybe it will encourage you to, I don't know, just reevaluate what's important in life, because I feel like that's really what has happened after being off social media. It really has allowed me to get rid of so much noise. And I think that I didn't realize how much noise there was when it came to social media, because you're constantly consuming so much information. And all of that information that I was consuming was making me feel like I was not good enough, that I was not doing enough, that I should have been focusing on making more money, that I should have been focusing on doing this with my business, that I should have been focusing on doing this with my clients. And I felt like it really redirected where I really wanted to go and what my vision is for the business and the impact that I want to make. And you know, one of the conversations that we actually had inside Evolve actually was with one of the babes who was sharing how she felt like she just needed the strategy, right? And she was saying to me, like, I feel like I just need like the next strategy. And I said to her, okay, do you have clients right now? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, are these clients paying you right now? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, then you have the fucking strategy. And she's like, oh, I'm like, you just need to amplify what you're already doing. Like, that's it. I'm like, I want you to be really mindful of who you're following on social media or how much time you're spending on social media, because it can make you feel like you are not doing enough. And the thing that I notice so much with being on social media, and I've been guilty of this as well, being a coach in the online space, is making you feel like you don't know what you're doing, making you feel like you don't have the answers for the way you want your life to be, the people you want to have in your life, the way you want your business to be. And I feel like social media does this great job of making you 100% doubt yourself, 100% doubt your capabilities, making you feel like you need to invest in somebody else because they have the winning secret. And really, that's not true. You know yourself better than anybody knows yourself, right? You really know what you want to do. You really know how you want to show up in this world. You really know what you want to price your prices at. You really know what you want your messaging to be. You really know what you want your branding to be, whether there even is a branding, right? You know this. And the thing that comes up so much in my spaces, and it's also something that a pattern that I've noticed myself when I invest in mentorship, is really what we're doing is we're investing in somebody giving us permission. And this is so evident in all of my containers, because so many of the women come to me and a lot of their questions purely are, do you think this is a good idea, or do you think I should do this? So they just need permission to do the thing. And so if you are in containers where you are just needing permission, you can give that permission to yourself. Because if that person says to you, no, I don't think that's a good idea, right? Now, this is obviously within reason. Like there's things that are going to work and there's things that aren't. However, there is a lot of trust that you can put in yourself, because when you're following your own North Star, you will never be off track. And I talk a lot about this. As long as you're following your truth and you are following what feels best for you and you're doing things in alignment, you're never going to be off path, ever, full stop, right? And so one thing that I noticed about being off social media is how much I came back home to myself. How much I was like, oh, this is actually what I want to do with the business. Oh, this is actually how I want to speak. Oh, this is actually how I want to use social media. Oh, this is how I want to show up in my email community. Oh, these are the actual services and the offers that I want to bring to the world. And it allowed me to get really clear on what I wanted, not what all of the noise was. And without reducing that noise, I wouldn't have got this clarity. And so we are shifting the way that the business is operating. And I have felt such a deep, deep call for such a long time to really delve deeper into impact around healing and around helping women really return back to their true core self and trust themselves. Because so many women do not trust themselves. They do not trust their decisions. They do not trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's supposed to. They do not trust that every challenge that you are being faced with is for a reason, right? That it's unfolding. All you have to do is trust and surrender to the path. It's exactly why that is tattooed on me, trust and surrender, so that I also remember it too. And so a lot of my work is going to start to shift around the energetics and the healing side of things, and less focus on the business side of things. Because the reality is after being in this space for so long, the more that you focus on yourself and your own healing journey, that actually ripples out into the business. And so, what I feel like I've been doing is I've been focusing too much on the business side of things. And I also have a huge community of women that want to come into my spaces, but I have not had those spaces for it. So, stay tuned, because there's lots of things that have been happening and unfolding in the back end, where we are bringing lots of new exciting services that are really helping you tap into your higher self and helping you heal yourself, right? Like, I'm not a guru. I'm not here to tell you that you can't do it. I'm just here to be the channel and the vessel to show you how to do it and give you the tools. So stay tuned on that. And that brings me to my next thing as to what has kind of gone on over this last 30 days as well. So I have completed my Reiki Masters, which I was already doing a little bit of the Reiki side of things, but didn't have the certificate for it. So I now have completed that, and I have actually been performing Reiki sessions with my clients. And can I say the results have been phenomenal? Like, phenomenal. The feedback that these women are giving me is insane. And, it takes me, a Reiki session is usually around 2 hours, and it's all distant, it's all done remotely. And so you don't have to be fully present for it. And then I send you a detailed report of everything that has come through and come up. And I give you some additional healing work that you can do on yourself if you feel called to deepen on the practices that we've just done. And so that feels so good to me. So I'm really excited to bring that to the table as well. So currently it's just available within my current private community. In the coming time, we will open it up publicly. So stay tuned for that. That is coming. The opportunity to have some Reiki sessions done with me. I've also completed my somatic practitioners certificate as well. So I have now got a whole nother new lot of tools and modalities to bring to the table to really help your transformation, to really help find where those blind spots are and to really help you have the tools and the knowledge for yourself so that you can continue to do the healing on yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are your biggest healer, right? Like, you don't have to constantly outsource thinking that the healing can be done outside of you. All of the healing gets to be done within you once you have those tools and those skills. So I'm really excited about that study that I've done. And I'm also studying right now psychology as well. So, like, this has all happened because, number one, I've reduced all of this outside noise of like, what do I want to do and what am I supposed to do in this space? But the other thing is that it's created so much more time for me to be able to do this study, for me to be able to deep dive into my next level of growth as well. And if you've been on this journey with me for a while, you will know that I am so devoted to my evolution, because I truly know that my mission on this earth is to go through everything that I go through to then bring it into the world and help other women go through, well, not go through the same situation that I went through, but rather to learn from my experience. So that is like some of the things that has been happening. And the other thing is that I have been reading so much more, and that brings me so much joy. I have read 7 books already, and we are like the 13th of February. Like, what the? So some of these books are like professional development, but then some are just for fun, right? I just sent out an email to my community to share the 7 books that I've read in case anybody's interested. If you have any book recommendations, come and let me know. I would love to hear what your book recommendations are. But these books have brought me so much joy. I have eliminated so much screen time from TV and also from social media, that it created a lot more time to just be, right? To just be. So that has been so amazing. So if you want to know what my books are, and you didn't get my email, come and shoot me a DM, and I'm more than happy to share with you the books that I've been reading. I actually read a book for the second time, which was The Untethered Soul. I love that book, and yeah, I think that everyone should read that book that's on a journey of spiritual awakening for sure. So that was something else. And then, do you know, one of the biggest things that I've really noticed in this last 30 days is the deep need for inner peace, like inner calmness. And it's been no surprise that I have really struggled with my mental health since I got back from Australia. So the December, January period was really hard for me. I felt like I was at capacity, and I also came into winter and I felt like my mind was just really confused about where I wanted to be, about who I wanted to be, about what was next, and I felt really lost, to be honest. And so really being able to have this like 30 days off social media to sit in the darkness, to really reevaluate like what are the things that make me happy, because they've changed over the time, and I've never been this evolved version that I am right now. I've never lived in a foreign country before, and that has brought its own challenges. But the thing that I noticed with getting off social media was how the things that brought me so much joy didn't involve money. And those things were, oh, I'm going to get emotional. Wow, where is this coming from? Those were things like cooking in the kitchen and playing music and dancing and just laughing and just having a good time on my own. But like when I say cooking, like wholesome, like sitting down and going through recipes and picking something that feels good. Like I have not done that for years. I don't even know if I like did that when I was with Troy and the kids. I mean, I would cook random things. I felt like I was always on a fucking diet, to be honest. So the food was very limited. But to like actually scroll through a web browser of different recipes and like pick something, like to have the time to do that, that brought me so much joy. The other things that brought me joy were reading my book. The other things that brought me joy was creating beautiful content for my clients around the things that I'm navigating and working through, and turning that into incredible rituals for them to also navigate and work through whenever they want. So that's inside the portal Evolve. And catching up with friends, going for walks, like these things have brought me so much joy. And the next big revelation that I had after that was, I've been saying for a long time now, like, I'm ready to hit my next financial level. I'm ready to like scale and break through. And after this 30 days of being off social media and not having the money uh, flaunted in my face from what everybody's doing, I was like, I actually think I'm really content. And I'm not sure that I want to chase the next financial level. I'm not sure that I want to be a multi-millionaire dollar woman. Like, I'm not sure that's my goal anymore. But yet I felt like it was my goal because that was what everybody was doing in the online space. Oh, I just made this multi-million dollar month. Oh, we just had a $2 million launch. Oh, we've just done $15 million. And, you know, I've earned incredible money, like money that I don't even know what to do with, right? Money that sits in my bank account and I'm like, yeah, cool. And it didn't change the way that I felt. And I've talked openly about this. At one point, when I was earning the most amount of money that I've ever earned, it was right before I left Troy, my ex, and my life was miserable. I was so unhappy, and I had more money sitting in the bank account than I had ever had in my entrepreneurial career. And so, after getting off social media for this last 30 days, it has really made me reflect, is money even really what I want to chase anymore? I mean, money's nice because it helps you have choices and it helps you, uh, you know, be able to do the things that do bring you joy. However, not everything that brings you joy involves money, like large amounts of money. And in this last few months, because I've been deep in reevaluating my business side of things, I haven't actually welcomed new clients into my space because I have felt like that was a disservice to welcome any new clients into my space while I was navigating how I want things to be. And so, with that, saying that, that means that my income has dropped. And even though my income has dropped, it is the most peace that I have felt in a very long time. And I think it's because I've been focusing on the wrong thing. I've been so focused on chasing the money and so focused on thinking the money is going to bring something, but it fucking doesn't. And I feel like this is a lesson that I keep getting over and over and over and over again because I hit these milestones and then I'm like, the money didn't make me happy. And then I find that I'm like, okay, and I am comfortable and I'm relaxed, and the peace comes back because I'm like, oh, it's not in the money. And then it's almost like I forget where the inner peace comes from. And then it's like, oh, I've got to chase the money. So then I go on this like rampage of chasing the money again. And while I'm chasing the money, everything is out of alignment while I'm doing that because the purpose is not really there of why I'm chasing the money. And I was like, this is just not how I want to live my life. And I look back over the last few months and I've always had Like, this is the least amount of money that I've earned probably since my coaching career. But it's also like I'm fully supported. Like, I never not have the money to be able to do the things. There is always money to go and buy groceries. There is always money to go and treat myself to a facial. There is always money to pay my rent. There is always money to do the things that I need to do, right? There is money if I wanted to book a flight somewhere. But I'm no longer going to chase this like huge amounts of money. It has no appeal to me anymore. It really doesn't. And even when I see, not that I've seen it for the last 30 days, but prior to, even when I see women talking about the money that they're making, like there's a contraction in me. And I'm like, ugh, ugh. Like, there was one person that was like, I just made, $15 million in the last 24 months. And I'm like, gross. I couldn't care less. Like, I'm like, tell me what inner work you've done on yourself. Tell me the deep things that you've worked through. Like, that's what I want to know. Like, that's the level that I'm on. I want to know about the higher consciousness. And the higher consciousness is not focused on money. And this has been such a huge revelation for me over this last 30 days because I think that there has been so much talk on the online space around the money that you can make. And look, I believe that money is our birthright and we are all entitled to wealth. I 100% believe that. But I don't believe that wealth is tied up to money. Wealth is a lifestyle, and wealth is about how you feel. And I would be so curious to have conversations with these women that are making, 15, $20 million years, whatever it is. I'd be so curious to have a conversation and say, yeah, but how happy are you? Like, don't bullshit me. Don't lie to me. Like, genuinely, how happy are you? Has the money made you any happier? Because I can say for myself, it didn't. It did not make me happy. And I am not willing to have my life that is so short in this lifetime be focused on something that doesn't actually bring me joy. And so this has been this new reflection, this new revelation that I have really been sitting deep in, and I've been sharing it inside my containers. And, one of the other babes was like, it's so interesting that you say that because she said, I've been saying that I want to be a multiple seven-figure businesswoman. And she's like, and after hearing you say that, she's like, I'm not actually sure that I want to be that, but I feel like I've said that for so long that now I have to hold myself to that because I said I wanted that. And I was like, yes, exactly. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like we put these goals out there and then all of a sudden we're like, was that even my goal or did I set that goal because I felt like I had to? Is that goal going like, why are you chasing that goal? And I just want to be happy and content. And I can be happy and content still doing the business that I'm doing without scaling to the next level, without growing and making more money. And I just feel like my life is at a different stage and my priorities are shifting. And so I'm curious as I'm having this conversation with you, like how this is landing, like where are you at with that? Maybe you are chasing the next money milestone and also that's okay too, right? Like I don't want to create shame around those that are chasing the next money milestone. If that's where you're at, like go for it, send it, go get it, girl. But I just know for myself, like that's just not my goal right now in life. My goal right now in life is to be happy and content. And my goal is to have inner peace. Like that, I want to have inner peace. I want to be able to sleep at night. I don't want to be worrying about money because money is just energy at the end of the day. And so that's really where I'm focusing right now. And a beautiful example of that is, and I will do an episode on this, is I recently had made a mistake within my business that cost me 10 grand. So I had to pay back about 10 grand to my clients. And I was like, where the hell am I going to find this money? Like, where am I going to find 10 grand? Where am I don't have a spare 10 grand that I can just like hand out to clients, back to clients. But you know what? The money was there. The money came in. It might not have been paid out in a lump sum, but over several weeks, the 10 grand was paid out. And I didn't know where that was going to come from or how that was going to even happen. But after I trusted and surrendered that everything is happening for me, that it's not going to be about the money, it's all about the lessons, the money was there and I was able to pay it back. But we often get so caught up in the how of it's going to happen, and we don't trust in the universe. We don't trust that everything is unfolding for our highest good. And so this is like where I'm at right now. I am feeling so much peace and contentment. I don't want to be spending my life behind my computer day in, day out, creating content, creating courses, working with clients. I didn't come here on this earth for that. I know that. And I know you didn't either. I know that you didn't come here to get up, go to work, go home, do the cooking, do the washing, go to bed, and do it all again the next day. Like, we were put here for a much bigger purpose than that. Surely you can agree with me on that. And if you're listening to this episode, I'm fairly confident to say that you also do agree with me on that. So let's like reevaluate, like, what are our priorities? And let's reduce the noise of what everybody else is doing, because just because someone else's soul calling might be to make as much money as they possibly can every single month, that may not be your soul calling. And let that be okay. Let that be okay. Because I know that I have so much drive in me that if I really wanted to achieve something, your girl can send it and she can hit burnout by doing it, right? But I don't have that drive in me. It's not there. And so if that drive is not there to chase the money, then it's telling me that something is out of alignment. And according to my human design, one of the biggest ways for me to recognize when I'm out of alignment is frustration. So the minute that I'm starting to feel frustration within my life and business, something is out of alignment. And so that gives me the opportunity to really reflect. And I 100% have felt frustrated within my business over the last probably 12 months, I would say, because I've been doing what I think I have to do rather than what I want to do. And so this is the update of the reflections that have come through of being off social media. And it has not been easy because it's such a habit. It's an addiction. And so, like any addiction, you are going to have to be really intentional. You're going to have to be conscious of it. You're going to have to put boundaries in place that stop you from reaching for that addiction. And I had to do that. I had to eliminate it off my phone. I had to delete it off the phone, the apps. I had to let my friends and people know around me that I was not going to be on social media. So if they wanted to message me or contact me, these were the ways that needed to be done. I had to remove the vices that potentially could make me fall back into that trap. And even when I decided to come back on, there was an element of fear because I was like, what if I get sucked back into this? What if I lose control again? Because I 100% social media, I lost control over it. It was consuming me. It was consuming me so much. And my mental health was taking a deep dive because of social media. And after being off it, I'm not prepared to jeopardize that again. And remember, I said to you that one of my big core focuses is inner peace. And so, knowing that social media can destroy my inner peace, there was so much fear about coming back on. And I'm still not fully sure what I want it to look like moving forward. But I do believe that I am going to stay off it live. I will still use it to share content and create value, but I don't know how much I will use it from a live situation moving forward. So, this has been the breakthroughs and the revolutions. And if you haven't listened to part one, go and have a listen to part one on it, because I also share that, I was able to build some deeper connections with my real sisters, because we were jumping on calls and we were having video calls, and we were really deepening our friendship instead of it being surface level, because you're seeing what each other are doing on social media. And there has been a part of me that has missed that. I have missed seeing what my friends are up to. I've missed seeing what my clients are doing, on their socials as well. But we got around it. There was different ways that we did things. My clients would share with me inside our private channels the content that they were sharing to get feedback on it. So there, you can make excuses for why you can't get off social media, or you can pivot and change and do things differently. And that was what I've done over this last 30 days, and it has been one of the most profound experiences from getting off it. And there were definitely moments where I wanted to get on and have a look, and there were challenges that were faced. And I found myself also spending more time on other programs and apps that I wouldn't normally, because that addiction was so strong. Like LinkedIn, I'm never on fucking LinkedIn. But then all of a sudden I found myself like getting into my LinkedIn account. I've never even shared anything on LinkedIn. And I picked up on it. The awareness is key, right? So I picked up on it. I was like, oh, I'm just trying to replace social media with LinkedIn right now. So I got off it. And then I found myself like scrolling my emails for way longer than I ever would. And I was like, oh, this is another one of those moments where I'm trying to fill that void. So like having the awareness around your actions and not just going on autopilot is also really crucial. The other platform that I also noticed I was starting to spend more time in, more than I ever did, was my Telegram. So I have Telegram for with my mentor, and never was in it. Like the Telegram goes crazy. There's like some days there's like 2,000 notifications in just one channel. It's insane. So I don't spend a lot of time in there. But yet, when I got off social media, Facebook and Instagram, I found myself starting to spend more time in there. And I was like, oh, interesting. So it's like catching those moments so that you can see where the pattern is and then breaking that pattern, because the ego's sneaky. The ego is very sneaky. So that was really interesting to watch and observe myself throughout that process. But I feel like my spiritual practices have really developed over this last 30 days. I feel like my guides and angels and ancestors are so much more present than they have ever been. And I truly feel like with this next direction that I'm taking within the business, I have needed to eliminate the noise, because this next level that I'm stepping into is going to require more of my energy field. And so I need to have a clean energy. And I really do believe that removing social media has allowed that to take place, so that I can be a clean vessel for the next lot of work that I'm going to do moving forward. So these are some of the revelations that I've had over this last 30 plus days. And I'm curious to know, have you taken a break? Are you going to take a break? Is there any fear that's coming up, or any story that's coming up around taking a break? But for me, it was really profound, because I feel like my values and my priorities have majorly shifted in this last 30 plus days now. It's like probably, I think like it's probably like maybe like 36 days now, maybe. And for the breakthroughs that I've had and the revolutions that I've had from reducing some of that outside noise, and how my mental health feels now, it definitely is reprioritizing the amount of time that I want to spend on social media, for sure. So I hope this has inspired you. Maybe you can't come to terms with doing a full 30 days. I'm a send it or don't send it kind of girl. So I was like all in, did the 30 days. And maybe you want to do just a day or a week and see how you go. I was having a conversation with my girlfriend. I just want to finish with this. And she said to me, what was the turning point for you? Like, where did you go, you know what, enough's enough? Like, what was that moment where you decided? Because she said, I feel like a lot of people talk about getting off social media, but like they don't follow through with it. So she was like, what was that turning point? And I said to her, I think the turning point for me was the exercise that I went through at the end of the year, where I read back through my journal every single month, wrote down what the key points were that I was reflecting after reading my journal. And literally every single month in 2024, I had mentioned at some stage throughout the month how much I was hating social media, how much I was comparing myself, how much I felt like I was not doing enough, how much I felt like I needed to do more, how much I felt like it was robbing my joy. And to see that pattern clearly written out every single month for 12 months made me realize that the only way that I'm going to change this is by doing something different. And I don't think if I did that exercise of reflecting on my 12 months journey of 2024, I would have seen that pattern. And so after seeing that pattern, that was when I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to have January, February, March be all about, oh, social media is draining my life. I hate social media. There's so much fakeness on social media, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want my journal entries to look like that. So for me, I feel like that was my pivotal moment after reflecting on 2024 as to why I then took that next step. And so maybe you might need to do something similar to have that pushed over the edge of, no, I'm done, right? Like this is not serving me. And maybe you need to reflect back on the moments where you realize how social media makes you feel or whatever it is, right? And see how you feel. Take a day, take 2 days, take the weekend off it and see if you notice any difference in yourself. And I guarantee that you will, because the noise that you are consuming, it is bound to be making an impact. 100%. So that is my update on my 30-day social media, or 30 plus days social media, and the breakthroughs that I've had. And yeah, if this episode has landed for you, come and let me know. I would love to hear. If it's inspired you to take a break, come and let me know. Also, I would love to hear. And if you desire to do some deeper inner work together with me, head to the show notes and you will see the link to my website. We have just recently updated a lot of things. There's a lot of new things changing and happening. So all of those updates you will find over on the website. So go and check it out. And if you have any questions, know that you can always contact me either through the email address below in the show notes, or you can reach out to me in the DMs and I will respond to you there. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are in this world. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will talk to you real soon.